Good morning. It's Monday. Good morning. The sun is bright. I'm almost to my first pickup. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know how far this place is going to be, but we'll see. We will see. I went to the gas station this morning and found out that Chevron has gone up on its price. I do not know why Chevron went up on its price, just because the stock is probably doing really good. What is wrong? I think that they might have limited of shares. There must be something going on with Chevron, because now they're going up on their gas because people figure it out. I mean, is that like a punishment or something for the American people, or awarding you? It might be. It might be. Or it could just be that Mexico is happy that their numbers are in the green. Okay? But we have to make sure that the United States keeps their numbers too in the green. Nobody wants to be in a red margin line. You know, like being in the red margin line just means that somebody's not working efficiently. Okay? We are too smart of a country to not be working efficiently. I think that's why the other governments think that they can, compete against us and try to say, oh, they're not as good as they think that they are. Okay? But the truth of the matter is, it's not that. You're trying to kick your way to prosperity. And it's not that. It's just that sometimes people, have different relationships with each other. And so when people have different relationships with each other, okay, almost like the Chinese connection, but this one is more like a Spanish connection, and people are just all lost. Okay, so the leaders, some of them are all lost. Some of them are not using law. They keep trying to use their emotional health to start the day. Okay, and to keep it that way forever. That's why some people work in the office and some people don't work in the office. That might be why I don't work in the office, because I really don't care about other people's attitudes. Okay, so you have attitudes and you have opinions. Opinions don't really matter. Opinions is just like, it's like a note. It's like feedback. Someone's just telling you something. It doesn't really matter. You know what I'm saying? If they like you or not, who cares? If nobody likes your hair orange, who cares? If nobody likes that you have on two different patterns today, like, who cares? Hold on. Oh gosh. Ooh, I have two to pick up? Oh wow. Ooh. Oh. Ooh. Let's see. Two to pick up. Hi. Oh my, she's like an Amazon giant, huh? Hello, sir. Hi, I'm here to pick up for two.
Okay.
This is the first one.
That's going to be outside.
Okay. Then I have this one.
Okay, that's it.
I'm just joking.
Oh, yeah, they're both going to be outside.
Okay, thank you so much, son. Okay. Okay, great. So both of these are, I think they're both around here, actually. It's pretty cool. I think so. So now I have to separate some things. My vehicle is dirty. all my kids' books. Yay. So what about outside, huh? I need to get a box or something. I need to put them in. Oops. Right. Oh gosh. These are outside. Yeah. So like I was saying, we are under the English legal system here. That's what everybody should be focusing on. Learning more about what the law is. If you're having difficulty speaking, then all of the immigrants shouldn't try to come to the United States and work and stay. Okay, because I think you all were a little uncomfortable. I think you all might have known that you were up for your 2 years, okay, of stay, and it was time for you to leave, okay? The reason why is because we don't speak French here, and we don't speak Arabic, okay? So we don't need people to try to force the idea that Muslims is legal here, okay, or that it's a governance here, a constitutional right. It's not. The legal system here is Christian. It's Christian English legal system, okay? So we need to make sure that people know that, because the president is confused. He thinks that we are able to take our tax money and use it, okay, for a different purpose. No, we cannot, okay? We're under a different legal system. Am I riding over something? Let me see. Let me go over here because I think I saw something on the ground. Matter of fact, hold on. And the problem with that is that we need to make sure there is a pin on the ground. We need to make sure that we have the right reverence ourselves, okay? Because that's the happiness, okay? If you want someone to be in the wrong governance or reverence, okay, then you don't want happiness. Flatten our tires. Goodness gracious, I thought I saw a pen and I did. You have to be careful. There's a lot of pens and stuff on the ground. But yeah, we want to make sure that we are in the right place. And just because we don't speak English, we don't tell the English people that something is wrong with them, okay? Or that they're not in the right place. No, you're not in the right place. And don't, you can stay out and don't come back. Okay, because we have to make sure that people, our country, we have to make sure that the Sierra government has their tax money. And you don't just walk around and say, oh, I'm a Muslim. No, you're not. To pay that man money to use his name. Okay, you have to pay him money. You have to pay the Muslim president money to use his name. Okay, you don't walk around saying, I'm Muslim, because they got 2 girls sleeping in the bed. Don't take Muslim people's stuff. Let them have their women. Let them have their fun. Don't be like, oh, you're going to be my prostitute now for the night. Okay, because you see the Mexican general doing it. He's doing it because he pays taxes. Okay, Mexico is legal to be Muslim in Mexico. He pays his taxes to be Muslim. We do not. Don't do it. Okay? Don't do it. Don't try to be down. Okay? You don't need to be down. Okay? You don't need to be down. If it's not in your tax system already, you don't need to be down. And besides, that would be a state tax. Okay? So in Texas, we don't pay state taxes. That would be a state income tax, okay, for immigrants to have that type of foreign right here. Okay, so keep all the Muslims out of your home, and especially if they're Mexican, okay, or Asian, okay, keep them out of your home. Why? Or European, okay, or African, okay, you know, because the truth is that you're never gonna have a reverence for it. The war is not really about, I'm starting to think now, it might not be that the Muslims want to do business with us. It might be that someone is trying to tell someone else to don't use our property matters. Okay, so they might be trying to tell Christian people to don't use their property matters without paying them a tax. And I totally agree with the guy. I totally agree with the leader. Do not use their women without paying the tax.
Yes. I can get him up here.
Okay. Goodness, looks so happy, huh?
Not too bad.
Well, you can put them on top of them because I don't know if
Every time.
yeah, it is.
It should be able to fit.
We don't need any witching either. So some of these Mexican and British men are witches. Now, it is legal to be a witch in the United States of America. But the witches better be careful because they might have cops, somebody might say. Okay? And robbers who might try to come and rob the witches. So you better be careful. I don't have to rob anybody. Seriously. Well, I mean, you know, I don't think that that's a good determination, but you can set it up if you need to. We don't need to. Oh, good.
All of that? It's only 4 of these.
Oh, okay. I
Four, and then
I don't think we have enough room.
should be good. That one has a hole in it.
Okay.
Then it's gonna be another bag of soil.
Okay.
So it should be able to fit.
So it's 4 of these and then another bag?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have this one sticker? Or no?
We don't. You want me to
It's
print
okay.
one for you?
No, it's okay. I know the difference. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
That must be Kimmy Kings. Kimmy Kings. I hope she's home. Dolce & Gabbana. 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 Look at this. Back for you. What? Jane from Let's see. How did she find me? Chelsea Garrett.
All right, man. You have a great day.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. You can pull it down. I'll get it. Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. See you.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Let's see here. these are 2 orders, but we have to make sure that we are present and professional and responsible, because it looks like somebody wants someone else to be responsible. So my question to you is, why would you sign up for something for your business for your business, okay? And you want someone else to be responsible for your business? It's starting to sound like a mom and dad situation, okay? Or it doesn't really sound like someone, even really has time or space or even really needed the business, okay? You have to tell people, you have to pay people to help you with your business. But then again, some people don't really want to work with you for your business anyways, because they might feel like, it's not really an opportunity for them if they're the ones who are going to end up having to, make the payments, okay, for the business, okay? We do not want to have to, we don't want to have to pay into, sometimes you might not mind having to pay into people's businesses, but that's not really an ethic or culture, sometimes, unless it's a business investment. So if you tell someone, hey, this is an investment opportunity, but you have to pay into it first before you can start, making payments, and then you can make commissions afterwards, or, plus an hourly, well, most of the times when you do that, it's usually commission. So that's okay, you know what I'm saying? But you don't want to have people sitting there working for hours, and then all of a sudden you tell them, you owe me money to pay my bill. To pay my bill for working my business. And I did see someone doing that, okay? So it's like the government is hanging out at your house. It's like some foreign government or entity or something is like hanging out at your house, sharing information with you, which they call intelligence, okay? Then they want you to pay for the intelligence, okay? Now, people have to understand, why do you need this intelligence, okay? The only person who might really need intelligence, you know what I'm saying, is governments, okay? So if you're a government and you're working with another government, then you might need intelligence for another government, but that's like you might be stealing information, from your competitor, but you have to know what the legal jurisdiction is, okay? So that's like Walgreens and CVS, they're competitors, they're right across the street from each other, but they might hire, okay, so it's like a Walmart, or it's like a, okay, so it's like, that's a situation, that's like a Walgreens and CVS situation, okay? So you might have someone who's like, oh, I need to know more about my competitor, okay? Or Home Pro and Surf Pro, okay? And they want to know what's going on with them, because people are buying into their business. People are buying shares, okay? They went IPO, they went public, okay? So people want the news, okay? So there's a certain way that you can actually get that information, all right? But you have to be established and incorporated by a certain kind of business, okay, to be able to collect that data. But then once you collect the data, you're supposed to use the data, okay? So maybe you might start looking at sales items, you might start, thinking about how you can, grow your customer, and maybe you might get some commercials, whatever. And the truth is that every industry has a different type of business. They all have different customers, okay? So you might not really need all that information. And I think people have to really decide, why am I paying for this intelligence? If I could just call the person and just ask them a question, okay? But if you're planning to do something criminal, you have to make sure you understand that those people that you might be trying to be criminal with, they might not want to help you, okay? They might not want to help you with your business. They might not want to help you to be criminal, okay? And so if they don't want to help you to be criminal, they don't want to help you with your business, that's okay. That's okay. I wonder if I should go on the front and pull up. Okay, that's okay. Why? Because we're not supposed to want to work for anybody's business that's telling us to be criminal, okay? But if you're going to get upset and get mad, okay, because a person doesn't want to help you, well, the law says there's no retaliation, okay? And then you might have somebody else who's more fit, okay? Because some people have a certain way that they have already organized and designed their business, okay? And so the way that they have already established their business, okay, is the way that they want it to be. All right. So if they established it with integrity, then that's the way they want it to be. Okay. They don't want anyone disturbing the peace, okay, and being mean if they don't need to. Gotta take a picture. Yeah. Okay, so we just always want to and I'm going to say we want to make sure that as American people that we make sure that we have our families' rights together, okay? Because we have to make sure that our army stays strong, okay? So now that we know that people are upside down and they're standing on the wrong side of the street and they're throwing things at us, we can now decide to make ourselves better. And we can decide to handle our situations the way that we need to. Okay? And so what does that mean? That means that we have to make sure that we show reverence for ourselves. Make sure that we do what we're supposed to do. Goodness gracious. That really bothered my back. That was heavy. That's okay. I hope that the person is home at this next location. But anyways, we don't need people to keep saying, oh, I want to be a mean service duty member. You don't need to do that either. You don't need to do that either. Okay? We need for you to practice being more positive. You should be thinking that life is good here. Okay? You have your civil rights. Nobody taking anything from you. Nobody's watching over you. No one is saying people to you. You might want people to do that, but you really don't. Okay? You want to be able to keep all your things to yourself. You want to think that you can have all the cookies you want to yourself, okay, because that's the law. That's why we call them burglars. Okay? Burglars go into people's houses. But why are they there? We do not know. Hold on one second. Not a number. Gosh, not a number. Okay, maybe it's a business. This might be a business. This might be a business. Someone might actually be there. And, you know, it's a good day. It's a good day. You know, if everybody can just remember, you know, nothing's wrong, nothing's broken. You You just have to be in the right accordance. If you're not supposed to be someplace, don't worry about it. You gotta learn how to live life. Know when is work time, know when is play time, know when is at home time. Okay, you gotta just know how to, to live. You gotta learn how to live. I don't know why someone would want children, around adults. Adult professionalism. Why would you want a child around professional environments? Okay, but that's the mind. That's the mind trying to belittle the law. Okay, that's the mind trying to say, well, I don't really believe in your Constitution, so I'm just going to belittle the law. That is in a violation of the Bill of Rights. Okay? You do not want to try to belittle another country's laws. Why? Because they're important. Okay? That's how you keep yourself safe as an immigrant, and that's how they keep the people, the citizens, the civilians there, the animals, every living thing. Okay? Has to have what it needs, and it has to be in accordance, but you have all those laws is to create this picture, this image of how the human being is supposed to live, how they expect the human being to live. So when somebody's looking down at you, you should look like an independent free person, because that's the Christian English law. Okay, that's the English law. That's the English legal system. We don't need anybody trying to change it to be British. We don't know what the British legal system is. When we look at those people, they look like the zombies, and they're going around in circles. Okay, same thing with the French people. Okay? And the French have nothing to offer the United States of America. We cannot have a dual citizenship anyways. But those people are running around in circles all day long. And you know why? It's probably because of their water. I think that I tried one of the elf French water or something like that, and it was missing something. It's like a ingredient. I don't know if it's like some oxygen or H2O. They're missing something. They're missing the carb. They're missing something that we need in that water to breathe. Okay, to breathe, to think. Why would you take that out of the water? I was so upset. I was going to try to file a claim against them, because after I drank the water, I was so exhausted. Like, why would you do that? But then I just said, you know what, never mind, just forget it. Because I'm just so aggravated and mad and just tired of always writing. And people just think that, like, nothing matters. But it is very important, because you get on my nerves. Okay, so they're missing ingredients out of their food that's supposed to give them a healthier life, or wait, what am I trying to say? Oh, that keeps them healthy and well. How about that? Change it all around. That keeps them healthy. Yay, that's the word. Okay, it keeps them well. Really, I'm like, these people should be completely exhausted, but that's why they're so crazy, running all around. Okay, the Muslims, they're sitting there laying around waiting for somebody to come sit on top of them all day. But goodness gracious, nobody needs to sit on top of you. How are you supposed to live? Or you think people are just walking around paying you, okay, to live? I thought you were supposed to be paying them to live. And then you go and you sell the women. Why are you selling them over there to give him a good time? Oh, to get money from him to give to you. Like, no. Then you say, oh, well, he has his own family. They go, God darn it, who cares about those Christian families? Okay? That might make sense to him, because he's lazy. Okay? He's like a lazy man who's sitting on top of a mountain. Has anybody ever seen someone lazy just sitting on top of a mountain? Have to work hard every single day. That is not the American life. That is not the American dream either. Okay, for people to just be laying around waiting for someone to sit on top of them. No. Okay, no. See all these people getting up every single day. They're like, go choose her. She works hard. No. Okay, don't even think about it. Okay. Don't even think about it. Okay, you don't care about nothing. You don't have any reverence for nothing. Okay, And we're not going to do that. Okay, we're not going to do that. Okay, we're not going to do that because it's not our law. It's not our way of life. That's not how we expect our human beings to live. Now, the little kids at the school that goes to those Muslim schools, you know, I don't know what they're learning. Okay? But those children are trained to know that he's supposed to lay there and she's supposed to get on top of him. Okay? And she doesn't need to think that when he grows up, or whatever age that is, that she's supposed to just be laying on top of him. It's weird. I mean, I know that some people feel comfortable, you know, to just like, you know, have people laying on top of them all the time. And, you know, who's paying her way? You know, like, she's just sitting on top of him, laying on top of him, and he's not doing nothing. Okay, we don't really need those kinds of human beings. That would not be one of our human beings. Okay, that's not a constitutional right. So if women are upset and mad, you can't be upset and mad that you see women working all the time. Okay, that's part of democracy. You said that you wanted to, you know, feel more democratic. Okay, you said you wanted to feel like you had more options. Okay, it's not really about being independent, but actually being more democratic, being expressive might be actually the people who are running around in circles. I changed my mind. Okay, because they're kind of being free. They're freely expressing themselves, freely expressing their emotions and everything else, right? So that kind of is democratic, you know, laying there, doing nothing, you know, and waiting for somebody to come on top of you. You know, some people might try to say that might look like it's independent or even a Republican idea. Okay, the truth is though is that you know, let me see, hold on, I think I have to go further up. The truth is that you know, being independent, I think, is just about you know, being a little bit free and making your own choices and your own decisions. I don't think it has anything to do with, you know, you being so free, like you have nothing to do all day, okay, because I'm an independent. No, that, to me, that's not really what it means to be, you know, like, independent, okay? You know, maybe I better go this way because I'm only 4 minutes away. Well, it doesn't look like it's on this road. Let me see. It's really all the way down at the other end of the road. Ooh, I could have changed actually. I could go this way, I think. Hold on. If this person will let me go. Oh, you still going and you see me backing up, stupid? No, let's see if you stop, dummy. Let's see if this guy stops. Okay, that guy, I was trying to back up and he doesn't stop to let me back up. He's stupid. That's so stupid. See what I'm saying? Now, he's probably from some place where people are laying up on top of him. Okay? We don't want to do that. Okay? We want to make sure that we're careful and that we're safe. Okay? We want to make sure that people are moving. We don't really want people to just kind of like be laid out on the middle of the ground. I could probably get behind this guy too, huh? Get there maybe a little bit quicker. Okay? And it's really because we want people to be safe. Let me clear the roads. Clear the roads. We want to show that people oh, stupid dummy. Yeah. But I don't know why, you know, having people lay up on top of you, you know, I think it's about freedom. That might be about freedom or something like that. But that's, I don't know. But for women, freedom, or maybe that's the men. Maybe that's the way that men view it, okay? But for women, I'm thinking like, women being free. She's kind of she's busy, but there's no like there's no attachment there. There's nobody there that's like, you know, like blocking the way. You know what I'm saying? Like there's nobody there to block the way. Okay? Like she's just doing whatever she needs to do freely. She's not bothering anyone. Okay? She understands that, you know, today is Monday and she has to do something, and then she goes home, she goes to bed, and she's with her family members again. Okay? But she's not bothering anyone. Okay? That's independent for an American woman. Okay? For a man, I think independence needs to be like, he needs to get his butt up. Okay? He does. He needs to get his butt up and show that he is really a leader. Okay? And he's not just laying around, right? Get up. Okay? And show that you are busy. Show that you do have things to do. Okay? Show that your life is busy. I don't know why they want me to go way, way back down here again, but let me just go. Where am I going? I think they're sending me back to... Let me see. I thought I could go this way. I don't want to go back onto that freeway. I don't want to go onto that freeway. Oh, wait. Sorry. I don't want to go onto that freeway. Yeah, I don't need to go on that freeway. It's right over here. I don't need to go on that freeway. You just go right over here and then just take the left. Looking at this map. You know? And so, you know, we got to keep everybody moving forward, because we have to make sure that the independent man is not just laying around, okay, thinking that everything is supposed to just come to him. No. In the United States of America, it's English, Christian, being independent, being Republican is in our legal system. But let me see, what would be Republican? That might be Republican too. You know, having someone laying on top of you all day long. Because they're the ones who seems to keep begging. I think that that's more of a Republican thing than independence idea. Because I don't know. I don't really know of anybody who those men, there are men that do have people who just lay up on top of them all day long. But most of the men that I pretty much know, they kind of like, they work. You know, people are, you know, they have their own little recreations and stuff like that. But people normally work as adults. You know, everybody's pretty much, here we go, everybody's pretty much professional. I don't know why someone would want youth and teenagers again around you know, professional people who have to work. Okay? It's not just about money. Professional people have to get up every single day. They got to train themselves. They got to prepare. Those are very, very smart people. They have to get ready for work. Okay, even if they don't have the skill, they got to meet with a coach. The coach has to teach them things. You know, they have to get their mind right. You know what I'm saying? It's not just money. Okay, you got to have, there's a lot that goes into being a professional person. Okay, and they have to make sure that they have the right healthcare system, you know, for themselves. Okay, those young people, they're still learning about stuff like that. You want to sit here and tell you about that, so then that way, like, you're being trained in how to, no, I'm not going to do that, okay? Because being professional is a skill. It's a skill set. Okay, even if you woke up today and you said, well, you know what, I remember, no, that's not good. Okay, yeah, so let's say, the youth are getting up and they get ready to, go to practice. Okay, you're skipping a whole scene. It's a whole scene that you're skipping. Okay, trying to put your child, inside of the youth, inside of the sports federation. Some people are already born there. I agree. I agree. But the thing is that you're not really. What is the name of the street I'm going to? Oh, Lookout. Okay. Yes, some of them are born there, okay? And that's okay. But even still, you have to allow those kids to know what it's like, okay? To have to go through the different phases, okay, of being the sportsman, okay, or being the professional, okay. So first you got to complete high school, then you have to complete, your college education, and get some job experience under your belt, okay, where you're actually making some real income, and then learn how to do that for a few years. We don't just, in the United States, we don't just let people just jump into stuff. Okay, it doesn't matter if your mother works there or if your father's the security guard there. It doesn't matter. We're all security. Okay, nobody is supposed to be doing that. You are supposed to be making sure that your child has a good happiness, a good life. There's no kids that should be like, oh, I'm gonna press charges against you for ruining my life as a kid by not, giving me my childhood life. Why is somebody not giving somebody a childhood life? I mean, really, if you're not a family that travels all the time, that might be an issue. Okay, if you're a family that travels all the time, okay, but that's an excuse because you might be oh wait, okay, yeah, so you might be in the military or something, okay, so you have to travel all the time, okay, but you don't just go and purposely ruin a child's life, okay, and trying to make them feel responsible or trying to make them not be able to enjoy their life. If you have an adult, he needs to be with adults. He doesn't have his memory or something, or he needs special care. You can't put them with a child. Okay, you think he's a child, so you're going to put him with a child, okay, because he says he has special needs. No, he said he has a family member, an adult family member for him to be with. Not children. Get yourself together. Okay, social services was supposed to arrest those adults. Okay, trying to belittle our human rights by saying that this adult man has to stay with a child. Okay? No, he doesn't. Okay, let me go get Sanaya. All right. No, the owner wasn't there for that one, but it's okay. Because we got it done, we got it done, we got it done, we got it done. All right, well, that's enough of my talk for now. I think I need to do some stretching to make sure I'm okay. But yeah, I'm okay. I'm gonna get something to eat now. Something hearty, maybe some oatmeal. Talk to you later in a few more minutes. Okay, bye-bye.